Hello, guys. Welcome back to another episode of the FPL show on the Gallagher Shots YouTube channel. I am, as always, your host, Matt, and this week I am joined by another extra special guest. This time coming to you live from, well, not live, but we're recording from Norway. Say hello. I'd like to announce Amund on the show.
Yeah. Hi, guys. Nice to be on.
I even asked how to pronounce your name beforehand, and I nearly got it wrong again. So, yeah, fingers crossed I don't do that again. We will get Armand soon, but we'll have a really quick little roundup of the mini league, which again is full of busy. We've had a few movers, a few people staying still. I have got a green arrow this week, which is always nice to hear. But still, top of the league is Matt Smith. I would love to know if anybody watches this show and knows who Matt Smith is. He's been top Armand for about 6 or 7 weeks. He can't be moved. No. I've got no idea who he is. I don't even know if he watches the show, but I've been trying to kind of seek him to get him on the show. He's sat about 5.6k overall at the minute. He's having an insane season. He got 76 points this week. But the gap at the top has been reduced to 9 points. So he was quite far ahead at one point, and now it's only 9. And that's because sat in second is a guy called Alex Cowan, who has 80 points. So we had a really good week this week. And third, dropping down one place, was Dan, who was on the show last week. His slide down the table has started. He did predict it. He dropped down to third. So, yeah, it's looking close at the top. It's still really exciting. And then there's me, sat in 8th place. So, Armand, when I started this, I was terrified that I was going to have a really bad season. Yeah. And that people would just kind of call me out as a massive fraud because I was hosting this league and I was doing dreadfully. But luckily, I'm sat 8th at the minute. Could all go terribly wrong. I got 83 points this week. I had James, Cancelo, Trent, and Chilwell. Obviously, that back four did incredibly well this week. And I transferred out Saka for Gallagher, who obviously got an assist, I think it was.
Yeah, assist, yeah.
So things worked out quite well for me. However, I am sat with Chilwell now, who's injured. And I think not in the squad, is he, for the Champions League? So that's an issue for me. I don't know yet. But and then finally, to round up the league review, we've got our manager of the week, who was Keelan Rennick. He is sat 171st in the league. He was 216th. I had to double check whether he was still an active player, but he is. And he had Tyrone Mings, who got a goal. Cancelo, Trent. He had Saw, the the Wolves keeper.
Yeah.
He had Tony. He had St. Maximin, who got a 10-pointer. So he had loads of insane differentials in his team, which all seemed to work out really well. And his game week rank was 9k. So, yeah, it's a pretty competitive league. You're not in this league, are you, Armand? I'm going to call you out now.
What's it called?
It's the Gallagher Shots mini league. So, obviously, this is the show. This it reviews it every week now. I can send you in the code to join it if you wanted. Obviously, better late than never. It depends on how good you do. That's a nice little. It's a nice little segue that actually because, who are you? Why are you on this show? And how are you doing this season in FPL?
Yeah, I start by saying who I am. I'm Amund, as you said in the intro. I'm a Norwegian. Currently living in Narvik, which is far up north in Norway. And really active on the FPL Twitter. And I've played FPL since 2011, actually. So starting to have quite a few seasons now. But I had like a break from... It was, I think it was the 2011 season until the 2014 season. So that was about when I started university. So I guess I had other stuff to do.
I've played it for about since 2011, I think. But I'm exactly the same as you. My university school years, my rank history is shocking because I was just a casual. I wasn't doing well and just stopped playing. When did it start to become serious for you? Like, when did you start thinking, I'll join a Twitter community and start tweeting about your play?
I think when I first started, I think it was some mates in class who told me about it, and I kind of joined like half-assed, just finding out the rules and just trying to find out how it worked. And after that, I think I played like casually, didn't really get into statistics or didn't know about like the whole community on FPL Twitter. So I think I started playing more seriously about 2017 season, perhaps.
Yeah.
Starting to find like some accounts on Twitter that like did loads of stats and like wrote pieces on players they thought could be really good assets. And I think after that, I've just been kind of dragged into the game more and more. And and now I'm here.
Do you know what? It's weird because I was, again, very much like you. I started playing it and didn't really get it. I wasn't massively into it. Like, you see a lot of people in the Twitter community who seem to have started playing it from a very young age and been consistently good. And they're like counts now. Whereas I feel like now you get people who have played it and known about it, but actually don't tend to do that well to begin with. And then all of a sudden they fall down that rabbit hole and just keep getting sucked into all these different kind of avenues of data and resources that just seem never ending. And of course, the beef and the arguments that sometimes pop up as well, which is always kind of fun to just watch from afar. Luckily, I can really been a part of that. I've just kind of laughed on the side.
Yeah, me neither. I've just stayed on the outside of all the beef and just tried to. I'm on Twitter to have fun and interact with people from different places. And I like a part of my day as I work as a physio, so I see a lot of sick people in bad places. And so I kind of don't need more like negativity in my life. So try to just stay and keep in touch with the more lighter side of Twitter.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of keeping out the negative, what's it like supporting Newcastle United, especially in Norway?
So I tried to like make some notes on this. So I grew up in like a really small town, and pretty much everyone was supporting Liverpool, United, Chelsea, Arsenal, and not sure I've actually met any Newcastle supporters at the point when I got my first jersey, which was in like, I think I have the 96, 97 shirt with the brown ale logo and color. A really nice shirt.
Yeah, like is it the one with the blue trim?
Blue trim. Yeah. So that was my first one. I still have it at home at my parents' house. I'm really thinking about getting it framed because I think it's so nice, and I think it's like really, it's a good memory to have it. But I'm not sure really how I got into like supporting Newcastle. There's not like a definitive reason for it. I've tried asking my parents about it, and they really don't know. It could have been stripes, it could have been Shearer, it could have been the fact that we actually were decent in the 90s. So we were fighting like...
hard to believe now, though.
Yeah. We could have won the league. We were regularly in the Champions League. And we're a better side. So it could have been a loads of things, but I think there's
Almost.
there's a few decent there's a few amount of Newcastle supporters in Norway actually, and we have like a
So
official supporter club that arranges trips to St James's and away trips as well. And I
yeah,
think they have like a deal with the club, so they get tickets. But I haven't
wow,
actually been
that's
with them on any trips.
right. And I mean, it's not that far. It's not that far, is it? Really, when you think
No, no,
like
no.
geographically, not that far to travel. So you've got no excuse.
Yeah,
So yeah, I'm just thinking you've clearly been suckered in by like the brief spell of decent football, haven't you? And then just being led down a path of misery and
yeah,
despair.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But
it must be. Go on.
I think it's like forged me all the bad results and yeah, the stuff the club has been through in the last couple of years. So instead of like feeling alienated by the club, I kind of feel more more for it now and feel stronger about it.
I
And
feel
like
I sometimes feel like that about like Man United fans. Like I think you've had it so nice all
yeah,
the
yeah,
time. Like you must certainly be numb to that now. Whereas because
yeah,
we've been so low, like I don't think people really appreciate how low it's felt as a Newcastle fan. Like people think we're feeling ungrateful because we've had it mostly like we've had most seasons in the top flight, so everything must be
yeah.
great. Financially, we've been okay, so we've got nothing to complain about.
Mm.
But we've been so low in terms of like how we've been treated as fans and things that
Yeah,
now that we hopefully are on the horizon to something good, those highs are going to feel pretty damn good now. You'd like to think.
yeah,
Whereas
yeah, of course.
I often look at like the Man Uniteds and I just think, like, you surely don't feel this anymore. Like, you don't feel it in the way that it felt the first time. Because it's just like, oh, we've won. I know they're obviously a bit terrible now, but like, do you know what I mean? Like, certain clubs should must just feel like a bit numb with it all because they're winning every
Yeah,
week.
yeah, yeah. There's really something in it, and if you look at it in like a psychological aspect, there's like you really get numb when there's like the same feeling all the time. You like win, 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 win,
Yeah.
win. At some
Mm-hmm.
point, you'll start feeling good about the wins. So naturally, if you have like periods where your club isn't that good or perhaps perhaps get relegated, you're gonna feel the highs even more when the highs arrive. So
Yeah,
there's
absolutely.
most
Hopefully,
definitely something in that.
hopefully they'll arrive soon because we need our
Yeah,
first win desperately.
yeah, we need
Um,
our first win. Yeah,
yeah, sooner rather than later. So, what you said that you kind of you started taking FPL seriously around 2017. What is
yeah,
it
yeah.
that
Well,
most like what's kept you kind of interested in it and doing it to such a high standard as well?
yeah. Now I'll say in the start it was more like about the leagues with the friends.
Yeah,
Um, Many of them were at college or university, and I think there was like a transition there between the private leagues with my friends and then connecting with people from other countries and making our own leagues. And suddenly
yeah,
that became the thing that was driving me forward. Uh, at this point, I think I'm actually more enjoying the people and the stuff happening on Twitter, maybe
yeah.
more than the competitions or the actual leagues at this point.
That's it. And I mean, as a obviously this is a Newcastle United YouTube channel,
Yeah,
not really an channel, and a lot of people watching um, probably aren't that much aware of the Twitter community and what it is.
yeah,
And if you told people what actually happened and what sometimes is talked about, they'd probably just like look at you as if you were stupid. Like the fact that
yeah, yeah.
just
It's like is the weirdest little like subculture of the internet, and I think you have to be a part of it to like understand it. And if you are part of it and have seen stuff on it, I think it definitely gives you more than someone who's standing outside and looking in. Probably all would be very weird.
Well, I mean, like, let's face it, you've got a plant called Bruce, haven't you? And actually, your Twitter account isn't your Twitter account, is it? It's actually Bruce's account.
It's my plants.
Yeah,
my profile picture is like Bruce with the Gucci headband, very poorly edited on it.
I was going to ask you, is that your own editing, or was that somebody else who asked?
Yeah, it's my own. So it's like I take pride in doing like really poor photo editing on Paint and Word, because I'm like really bad at computers. So I use the simplest tools, and whatever product I get, I use it. So whenever I make memes as well, they're just really poor quality, but that's like my stamp.
Nice.
And of course, I've actually had people send me better art and like good, like my what's it called, the bigger picture that you have on your profile, like the header.
Yeah, header.
Yeah, the header. That's like I don't know. Do you know the Big Sam account?
Oh, yeah, FPL Big Sam.
Yeah, so he made that for me and sent it to me. So that's like looks incredible, but like nowhere near what I could have made myself on Paint. So
yeah.
But the story about the plant was like I got it as like a housewarming gift from my work, where I worked before this job, and it was a period in my life where everything in Norway was shut down because of COVID, so you couldn't really go out socialize. And I just moved to a new place, and pretty much the only people I knew were people from work. And most of them had like families and stuff they had to do on their free time. So they weren't like that much available to hang out and do stuff together. And places were mostly closed anyways. So I got this plant from them. And I saw, I think it was at this point I saw on my Twitter timeline, like Hindu Monkey had like, he has a cat. So he has a cat, and he was making these jokes about his cat making his captain choices for him and the cat controlling the team. And so I thought, okay, what if I do a version of that, but even more stupid? So like I have my plant doing the team for me, and my plant controlling the team and my transfers. So just like took it up a notch from the pets.
That's just a fantastic example of the community. So you've referenced, like, it's totally normal, a Twitter account called Hindu Monkey, who controls his fantasy Premier League team. Like, that's not mentally healthy, right? That's a bit mental.
Yeah. It's all mental.
Oh, hey. So we'll move on from that, because it does sum things up. What's your overall rank history? So I know that it's on your bio. You've got like your past 2 seasons, I think, which are pretty impressive.
Yeah, I haven't like really updated my bio. So the OR you're talking about were like in 2018, 2019, where I came like 28,000 or something, which is my best.
That's 7 million, isn't it?
Yeah, so that was really good, and that's my best season. And the season after that, I came like 62,000, which isn't like half bad.
Anything under 100,000 in my.
Yeah, and last season I ended up like 300,000, But at that point, I was like close to getting inside the 100K again, and I thought for myself, okay, doesn't seem like I can get in by doing templates and having like Salah captain. So I went with Joe Linton as my captain for like one or two game weeks or something.
No.
And we had gotten Will up. It was just madness.
I had. Yeah, I remember that because that was when we were doing quite well, and I mean, I'm not going to make excuses. Finished 300,000 for something as well. I might have even been worse than that. I had an absolute stinker of a season, but you just brought that back in my mind that I don't think I capped Joe Linton, but I definitely transferred him in, and I thought that was crazy.
Yeah,
but I don't know why I don't know. Like, he could be good now though. I genuinely think people will be wanting to captain Joe Linton in a few weeks' time.
Okay, you said it.
I honestly think so. You see how confident? I know he didn't take his last chance really well, but in the last game against who was it? Who was it again?
Brentford.
Yeah, his goal took that. He finished that really well.
Yeah, I think he was our best player.
Yeah, without a doubt. Obviously, whether he'll be an actual FPL option is kind of different, but he looks like a bit with a bit more confidence, doesn't he?
Yeah, and the season is weird. Like, isn't Asam is like the fourth highest scoring striker?
Who? Sorry,
the third. Alan Samaksin is the third highest scoring striker, which is the weirdest thing.
That's mad. And imagine if he was a midfielder though. Which he should. It's like he would be I mean, he wouldn't get any clean sheet points, but he'd still be. He'd the most sport players, like higher than Gallagher. Like, it's such a shame because he's now a wasted asset. Really,
I agree.
So,
completely.
What about? Oh yeah, so you told us you finished about 300K last season, didn't you?
Yeah, but I have to say though, because now it sounds really good, those 3 last seasons before this, but like the seasons before that, I had like what is it? I'll just check it out. It was like 2 800K, and then 1.3 mil, and then 2.0 mil, and the first season like 1.1 mil. So
it's a very similar to mine, to be honest. Like, I'm around the 1 million mark for a lot of my other ranks. It's the ones recent that count, right?
Yeah, of course. Only the 3 last seasons count.
Of course, yeah. Forget everything else. It didn't really exist then anyway. It wasn't proper. So yeah, I mean, we'll talk about this coming week then. There are obviously European fixtures going on, and there's already alluded to the Chilwell kind of spanner in the works.
Yeah.
Is there anything obviously on your mind in terms of your team? What are you thinking about this game week?
Yeah, I had an idea of what I was going to do, because I still have Mbuemo. So I was thinking of getting him out and perhaps getting Cornet from Burnley.
Yeah, Dan mentioned him last week as a potential shout. How did he do last week? Because they scored 3. How heavily involved was he?
How did he do?
Did he?
I can check it out really quick.
I don't know. Because it'd be interesting to know, because Dan definitely shouted him out last week, and
he scored a goal.
He does seem to be growing in popularity.
He scored a goal.
Isn't he playing out of position as
well? Yeah, I think he plays. I'm not too sure. I haven't actually watched Burnley, but I have heard his name, and Jimmy the Claret has been doing some Cornet propaganda as well.
Yeah, Jimmy.
But I like because I think you told me you were doing Saka to Gallagher before this round. Is that right?
Yeah, I did that last week. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was exactly the same
last week
as I did.
Oh right, were you on Saka as well?
So
that was
it was actually
one of like.
Could you repeat that?
Oh yeah, I thought I was one of only like a handful of people who still own Saka. I didn't realize you were one of them.
Yeah, I had him. So I actually considered both Gallagher and Cornet, but ended up on Gallagher because I took a cheeky little peek at like Understat to see how the underlying numbers were for both of them, and yeah, Cornet was pretty much outperforming his numbers by a good margin, but Gallagher was underperforming, I think. So I went with Gallagher in the end, but Cornet still delivers and he's still cheap. So
yeah, it's funny one with Burnley because they're not known for being free scoring, are they? Like they're not the most exciting team. I owned Chris Wood for a few weeks. Luckily, I caught his goal, and he had a goal or an assist ruled out as well that game. But I remember, and then I quickly got rid of him because I held him for 3 weeks, and he only got the odd. But at that point, he was only like 1% owned, so it shot me right up the ranks. But I don't like owning Burnley players really because they don't really strike me as the most exciting. Like, I think I want FPL players on my team that I can sit, watch on the TV, and be excited about. Like, for example, if I wasn't a Newcastle fan, I would like to own Saint Maximin because I would watch one of our games and be like on the edge of my seat. Whereas I'd want to put myself through watching an entire Burnley game. I mean, fair enough, it was 3-3 their last game, but it's not always going to be like that, is it?
No, there's not.
No. So what's your thoughts for this week then? So in terms of you said what was your thoughts for this game week then?
Yeah, my thoughts were going for Cornet for Mbuemo, but then Chilwell got injured, and I've seen some news today that might say that it's an actual ACL injury, which could be pretty bad. So he could be out for a couple of months, actually, if that's true. If that's true, then I would want to get rid of Chilwell. So I haven't like getting around the problem yet, but I was thinking maybe Diaz or maybe like a straight swap to Rudiger.
Yeah, it's funny you said that because I'm pretty sure I tweeted that out yesterday when I heard about Chilwell. You can't imagine Diaz gets rested again.
No, I don't think so.
He won't get rested again, and Man City's fixtures are pretty decent, aren't they? Going forward, and I thought the exact same about Rudiger. It's one of those where I kind of feel like if Chilwell's only going to be out for a couple of weeks, I'm going to want to get him back in.
Yeah.
But if he's out with an ACL injury, you're kind of looking long term, aren't you, with either a Diaz or a Rudiger? It's so annoying because with James, Chilwell, Trent, and Cancelo, I feel like I had that in my defence sorted, and I was not going to touch it again the whole season. And it's just typical that Chilwell goes and gets an injury like that. It's like typical FPL. I think I'm going to be following you on Twitter quite closely to see what you decide. And to be that's what everybody is going to be talking about, isn't it? Who to transfer out Chilwell for, really. So see who everyone goes for.
Yeah. Probably. And then I have in the team too, I have Rafinha and Jota, and both are currently on yellow flags.
Right, actually, I don't own any. I've not owned Rafinha at all, but he's Rafinha seems like the kind of asset that would be really horrible to own. He's just, it looks like from the outside looking in, it looks like it's been an absolute nightmare to hold on to him, because he's either scoring a goal and playing, or he's been on international break and hasn't made it back in time, or has caught the sniffles.
Yeah, it's been a mixed bag, definitely. And I had both Rafinha and Bamford at the start of the season, so that was like one of many reasons why I came out so poorly this season, because it's been an uphill battle from the start.
Yeah.
I decided to go with Havertz and Mahrez, and then I had like triple leads with Melier and Bamford and Rafinha. And Leeds were so shockingly bad, and Havertz didn't look like what he looked like at the end of last season, and Mahrez was nowhere to be seen. So I like started out at the OR about 4 mil, and been trying to battle my way back up ever since.
Where are you sat right now?
Now I'm at like 450k, I think.
Oh well, that's great. That though, that's like you're working your way back up. And to be honest, from like 1 million to about 100,000, there's not a lot in. You've got loads of game weeks to make that up.
I've had like one red arrow since the start of the season, and wow. Every other arrow has been green, so it's been going the right way.
Definitely, that's quite impressive. Yeah, I mean, if I remember Mahrez, if I remember early season chat, it was Mahrez was the captaincy pick, wasn't he, in game week 2? And did he not get? Loads of people were. I can't remember now, but I'm sure he didn't deliver what he was promising at all.
And he looked so good and played so much in the preseason, and KDB was injured. Yeah. And there were a lot of other like uncertain cards in the City midfield. So in my head, Mahrez was pretty much nailed. But then again, Pep is Pep, and Mahrez didn't continue what he showed in preseason. So
no, it's typical Mahrez as well, because whenever Mahrez is kind of the same as Jota, isn't he? In that when he does play, he delivers points galore, but it's finding the time when he plays and sustains it, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes.
So in terms of, I've got a question here. So in terms of squad building, because there's a kind of a template forming, isn't there? So it's having that defense, having 3 Salah, obviously, and 2 or 3 mid-priced midfielders, and then either Kane or Vardy and Antonio and Tony. That's like the split. And I'm going to ask you, how will that break? Like, how is that template going to break, do you think? I know Chilwell's got injured, which is going to deviate things slightly.
Yeah.
But what's going to have to happen for everyone to like want to tear up their teams at the minute?
So the thing is, Vardy and Leicester, they are looking very good, and Kane still has to find his form. Still doesn't look like scoring goals. But I didn't watch the last game, so I can't really tell if there was like improvement from what I've seen earlier this season.
He had 4 shots on target. No, not on target.
And with the Chilwell injured now, you could probably get off with like 3 good defenders and have like Livramento and perhaps like someone like Mitchell, which is very cheap and probably will play for Palace.
Yeah.
And then maybe go for something else in midfield. But then again, who would it be? Like, maybe we'll see Fernandes, Bruno find some form again when know that Solskjaer is gone. And United have really good fixtures going forward after the Chelsea game.
Yeah, and then, you are right.
So maybe you could take a chance on a United midfielder and like downgrade Chilwell.
Yeah.
You could. Yeah.
I've
seen a lot of people with Dennis too.
Yeah, I'd consider Dennis. I was considering taking Kane out, which sounds ridiculous because the fixtures are incredible. But I don't know whether I'm trying to be too clever, taking out Kane for someone like Dennis, and then upgrading Sissoko, because I'm worried about my bench come for Christmas because I've got Liverpool, Sissoko, and Allen. So if my needed any more than one player, I'm proper screwed. So I was thinking drop Kane down to Dennis and then upgrade Sissoko to Mane. But it's one of those where is it going to be worth it? And Mane is going to go to AFCON, isn't he?
Yeah,
as well as Salah.
Salah. So, and that could affect also TAA's form.
Absolutely.
With Liverpool missing out their best attackers. And I'm not sure when Firmino is back. I haven't seen any news on how his injury is coming along.
I haven't heard anything either, which kind of tells me it's still quite far away. But I think the only way the template is going to break is if we get another couple of really rough injuries, or the likes of your big premiums who've really under-delivered so far this season, like your Kane, your Bruno, your Ronaldo, who started on quiet. Who else? Bruno. And it's really heavily reliant on Man United, really, because the likes of Sancho,
United and Spurs, if they can take advantage of the good fixture run, that could probably break the template some.
Absolutely. So I mean, even Raheem Sterling and Kevin De Bruyne, there's Man City players who are worth a hell of a lot of money, who should be really good assets, who just haven't done anything. Best Man City assets being, obviously, extra attacking asset has been Phil Foden, and he's only 8 million.
Yeah, so and he's not in the squad now, so
exactly. So it's like, imagine what would happen if. Oh, we're back on?
Yeah, here you
know. Imagine how good FPL would be and how kind of different it would be if we had all of a sudden, in a few weeks' time, we had Sterling going off, Mane, KDB, everybody who's meant to be a premium actually delivering things that they should be, because it gives people a choice then.
Yeah, it would really mix things up, but I'm content by the moment, because I'm getting a steady rank rise and doing okay. So I prefer it to stay like this, actually.
Oh yeah, I'm with you, because the fact that captaincy has been taken out of my hands really helps me, because the reason I did really badly last season is mostly because I kept getting captaincy wrong. I would put on to Kane and he would blank, and Salah would do well. Then I'd put on to Bruno and then Kane would do well. And Salah would also do well. So it was just because it was those three last season, wasn't it? Who were just all firing at different times, and he had to jump on them at the right time. And I just couldn't do it. Whereas this season, it's just Salah.
Actually, I've tried to make a rule for myself regarding the captaincy this season. With the Salah doing so great, and try once or twice or maybe 3 times to find a differential captain, and the other times just stay with the safe options. So you like go with the crowd most days, most game weeks. Then you try like to identify those few game weeks where there actually could be like a great differential option, and then just take the loss if it doesn't work out. But then you're back on the horse with the crowd and the big hitters in Salah or Arnold or Cancelo.
Yeah.
But like once or twice, try to do something different.
Yeah. It's all about like a calculated risk, isn't it? Don't just do something different for being different's sake.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, that's a brilliant piece of advice, to be honest. That's what's floored me last season. So I had my best finish the season before that, and then thought I was like God's gift, and started making just crazy kind of maverick transfers, thinking that it was going to work out because I'd finished like 19k the season before. And
yeah, that's really nice.
Really, really badly. So yeah, I mean, do you play Norwegian fantasy? Because I'm sure you did about it.
Yeah, I play Norwegian. It's called Eliteserien Fantasy.
Right.
And I don't try to play it as serious as I played FPL. So I try to play like more casual. I'm not that afraid to take like chances with my captaincy options.
Right.
Right now I'm doing like fairly okay. I'm at like 9k, and I think the total number of players is around 45k.
All right. Okay.
So like it's like a decent spot. And then I'm in one private league with a bunch of other FPL players, and they're doing so good, and I'm like dead last in the league. Still doing okay, but like dead last.
Yeah.
So it's like really not that motivating to go into it and see like, oh, I've had a good game week this round, and then I look at the other scores and they're like way up there.
Yeah, it must be crazy because I couldn't get my head around having a fantasy team for the Norwegian league.
Yeah.
Not being able to watch it as much as I'd like. Like I feel like that would be when I know that my addiction has gone too far. Like in the same way that betting works, I think if you start betting on like Hungarian stuff like that, it's gone a little bit wayward. I'm honestly, it's amazing, and I've noticed something that's very well known in the Twitter community is that Norwegians can play fantasy sports incredibly well, and I don't whether it's a genetic thing, whether you just generally more cleverer than us. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. It's like, so we have a good living standard in Norway, so we're pretty much able to watch as much games as we would like to.
Yeah.
And I think we have like better options than people in England actually has of watching games, so we can see like every other game that's going on.
Yeah.
And that would be like really helpful for people.
Yeah. So what is it? So what is it like? Can you just, do you know the 3 o'clock kickoffs? There won't be 3 o'clock for you, but
no.
You have like a soccer Saturday sort of thing where you just get to see commentary and like people talking about it, or do you get to choose one of those as part of like a TV package?
I think it's like you have both options. So you could have like the options of seeing people talk about the games, but I think most of the time, if there's like a TV production crew at the game, you're able to buy the game and watch the game.
See, that's
but the prices are really steep now, and there's been like a lot of noise because the TV channels that owns the rights have really started pushing up the prices.
Right.
So you have to pay a lot of money to have like access to all games.
Is it just one broadcaster?
Yeah. So here in Norway, there's like one broadcaster that's got all the rights for the games in the PL.
So they can just put whatever price they want, and really.
Yeah. They have a full monopoly on it. Wow. So I guess a lot of people are doing like illegal streams and find it on the internet.
Absolutely, yeah. And I mean, well, who can blame them? It's the same here. I think it's mad that we've got more access than ever to games because of the fact that BT and Sky have, and even Amazon Prime have.
Yeah.
It's the fact that now if you want to subscribe to everything, to watch everything, it's like the price just goes like bum 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 bum. Like, really.
And that's how the players have the like craziest salaries.
Oh,
because we pay so much money to see the games.
Yeah,
that's like a whole different discussion.
It is, FPL aside, it's like the broadcast. Without the broadcast money, we wouldn't really probably be talking about fantasy Premier League because
probably not.
Yeah, it wouldn't be blown up to the degree it is now. Amund, I think that's a wrap. I think that's it. We've talked about everything we needed to. It's been an absolute pleasure.
It's been great having a chat with the Geordie. Not that often. I'm actually in the one group or two group chats with some Geordies, but haven't spoken to them that many times.
Right.
But it's nice.
Point me in the right direction of them, and I'll see if I can get them on the show.
You probably follow them, I guess.
Brilliant. So thank you very much. Have you got a quick view of Bruce before we go?
Oh yeah, sure.
There's no point in having you on if we don't actually get Bruce.
Yep, there is.
He's bigger than what he is on your profile picture.
Yeah, he's grown last couple of months. So we have another leaf coming up now.
Oh my goodness! Hey, this is the content that we're here for. This is. Well, hey, on that note, we can't get any higher than that, so we might as well just stop that before we. Thank you very much, Amund. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Drop a comment. Brilliant. Thank you very much, Amund. Say bye to everybody.
Bye, man. Thanks for having me.